Hi riders and welcome in the first video of 2024. That for me is the last painting of 2023. I am in a Volkswagen Up, as usual, my wonderful tuna box car, but today it feels a little bit more like a DeLorean because I'm going back to the future.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
It's time to get the first guest of this video. Oh yeah, pro driving vent. Ladies and gentlemen, straight out Amsterdam, welcome to Mr. AERØHEAD.
I'm just fucking down.
Let's head to the spot to reveal the third and last guest of this video. We are at the spot. And Mr. AERØHEAD is already talking non-stop about girls. But leaving out Ares' alpha male stream of consciousness, this is the spot that me and him are going to paint. Ares will make a character. By the way, big up to Mr. Sean. Next to us there is a new entry of the channel, Mr. Nos from GMK Crew. I know it looks like he's already finished, but he's just erasing his old piece to make a brand new one. However, after a tasty as well as unhealthy breakfast, we scraped a bit wall. Spoiler, it is not even close to be enough scraped, but now it's time for me to get started. By the way, we are in a new spot, at least for the channel, because I already painted here like 3 years ago, something like that. It was before the YouTube channel. This is an overview of the spot, but now I have to sketch. I'm late and I don't want to be the last to finish the piece. Oh cazzo, mannaggia Gesù Cristo! So, after personally complaining to Jesus Christ in the most worldwide language I know, the Neapolitan, I cut the proportions, making a big tag on the wall. I call it first lines, and after it I started the proper sketch. Okay, so probably you can't understand it because it's messy, and at least in my experience, only the writer that is making the first lines fully understands what he is writing. However, the sketch is almost there, but I need to refine everything because everything is too thick. I don't know where the final outline will be. And so I had to pick another color to make once again all the lines. And I know I do this in every video, telling you always the same things. I just need that because if my brain doesn't see and process all the lines immediately, precisely, and with the thickness not exceeding the one of the final outline, it simply crashes. So if you want me to stop saying it over and over, just tell it to me in a comment. Anyway, the sketch turned okay, even if I actually also freestyled it a little bit, just the final details, because the sketch is not that fresh, is like 5 months old, so I added some fresh stuff that I'm doing recently. Now the time for the bucket paint has come. First of all, gotta get all the space all around my piece painted with this shitty bucket paint. Literally shit. Is like the shit color if you eat correctly. If you eat vegetables and stuff like that. If you eat just pizza and cheeseburger, maybe it's gonna be a little bit more yellow, but we don't care. I don't know why I am talking about shit, literally. However, if you didn't close the video already because you are throwing up now, I will just put you here until I am done with the coat of background and with the fill-in, I guess. First of all, spoiler, this is by far in the top 3 of the worst roller paint sessions of my whole graffiti career. For 2 reasons. The bucket paint was too thick and we didn't have any water to dilute it, and second, the wall is literally falling apart. Anytime I was using the roller on it, pieces of plaster and old paint layers were coming off the wall and sticking to the roller. So, after every coat I had to clean up the roller. For this reason, the background coat of paint took me way longer than I expected. After that, with my hope of having a good and relaxing bucket paint session at an all-time low, I started the green fill-in, that fortunately was a bit better actually, even if I couldn't use the usual small roller because it wasn't spinning at all, due to all the paint stuck in it. Fortunately, I wisely brought with me my small brush. Just interrupting the time-lapse for a moment, because I wanted to say that you have to be very passionate for filling this whole piece with a fucking brush. I mean, passionate about bucket paint because I actually am kind of clever sometimes. Indeed, I prepared a backup. I have a chrome big can with me because this morning I thought, okay, if the wall is shitty, if whatsoever, I can paint with chrome. And when I started making the coat of the background, this reddish shitty one, I immediately thought, okay, I will definitely fill it with the chrome. But as I told you, sometimes I'm clever, but the most of the times I'm actually pretty stupid. Indeed, I decided to fill it with the bucket paint because it has a great color, I love it, but now I'm regretting it. In my mind I keep saying the final result is gonna be good, is gonna be better than the chrome, but I don't know. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the fucking process. And also pray a little bit the god of the bucket paint. Well, vent from the past apparently prayed enough to get the filling done. I mean, not without problems, but it's okay. Okay, off camera I've done the second layer with this, as you can see from the drips, very watery bucket paint. The color is very worth the effort. Now, we still got 1.5 hours of daylight, which is not much if you ask me. The background is a classic easy peasy faded background, which is now a pain in the ass. Usually when you paint faded backgrounds, it's better to paint them before the fill-in, because otherwise the fill-in is gonna get very dirty. In this case, I preferred to make the fill-in first because the bucket paint is very watery and I would have made all the background dirty, which is much more difficult to repair than repair the fill-in with the bucket paint. Ares over here is having a nap. Mr. Nos, as you can see, is at a good point. I'm pretty tired, my knees hurt, but yeah. I didn't bring any food, I didn't bring any water, and I also have to pee, and there is no place to pee. I mean, this is a road, there are cars, as you can see. Now I'm going a little bit to the end of the road to see if there is a spot. A couple dogs are keeping me company in this spot research. You are very lucky, you can pee everywhere you want, and nobody's gonna scream in their face, "What you doing, you dirty bastard!" Fuck, there is no spot. So, these are the designated colors for the background. Mainly these code reds and maybe this koi. Let's do this! At the end, I couldn't help it and I added some sketchy scribbled details to my background. It's becoming kind of a trademark for me, and I like it. Funky background done! I have no clue about what I'm doing in this background, and this is never a good sign. However, I will just make this red a little bit more coy, just slightly, and then I can consider myself done with this bullshit. Okay. Ares requested some arrows in my own style. I am afraid of fucking up this wonderful outline. Number 1 done. Number 2 done. Fammi allattare con questa spumatura. Am I going to die stepping on this? Yeah. Am I the funkiest funky motherfucker on the fucking earth? I don't think so. But for sure I'm the funkiest background maker among me and Mr. Ares. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. Ares, you are very good, but I am funky. That's different, you know?
Funk is the new toy.
Ay ay, this hurts. The funky is the new. I am messing up my piece, on which I spent 7 hours to fill it with bucket paint. I'm very afraid of doing it and also to tell it to you, but it's time for the outline. I am again on my way to find a spot where I can pee, because I have to change the water to the olives, I would say, in Neapolitan, and this is the perfect spot. I am noticing that my videos are full of clips where I pee. I provide culture. Well, before anything else, I adjust the frame of Mr. Ares. I need to do my outline, and so Banknote will join the conversation. Okay, so as in all my winter videos, the sun is going down very fastly, but now I just need one more outline, but I also need the ladder over here. So we will wait for Mr. Nos to finish his upper part of the S. Meanwhile, shadows, always better than the 3D, remember. Okay, outline done. Now fastly, some effects. So, highlights.
Lascio pencil e poi il video finito.
You might ask why I didn't put any music in these last clips. Well, because I wanted you to feel what I was feeling in that moment, I mean the rush, because I wanted to finish my piece in time to take the photos with the perfect daylight. I hope this works, and if it doesn't, well, at least I tried. But as always, let's analyze it. First of all, I like this piece. It looks solid enough to me in this moment, but there are many oversights that are making me a frustrated man. However, first of all, the setup. Yeah, it's way more accurate than balancing. So, this piece has a clear center of gravity and it is not in the middle of it or nearby the V, as usual, but it's here. 3 letters plus the big arrow melt in this point. It is shifted to the side, as well as the big arrow. This is due to the fact that during the paper sketch phase I wanted to do something different than what I was used to do every time. Basically, the big arrow attached to the V has been one of the main features of my pieces for over a year. I love this solution because it allows me to cut the bottom of the letters, making the placing and the building of them way more easy, like when you paint a train panel. Also, it helps me in terms of balancing, in this case it is the right word, because I have to care about it only in the upper part of the piece, since the bottom is flat and it is basically impossible to make a balancing mistake. Well, a couple months ago, after more than a year, I started sketching again without a big arrow that goes underneath the whole piece. And also thanks to the knowledge I got using this solution, I feel now ready to introduce more dynamism to the bottom of my pieces. This is one of the first sketches I have done with this idea. Indeed, it's a soft start, let's say. I just pushed the big arrow towards the right and I replaced it with a flattened one. Between them flows the bottom stick of the E that converges in the gravity center I was talking about at the beginning. So, the letters are very nice, all of them, but the V. In general, leaving out the right arrow, it is not as sharp as it should be. At the top, I am guilty of neglecting the thin loop. I forgot the section line, and in general, together with the 724, all this zone is a bit too sketchy. The E, the M and the T are just wonderful. The E is perfect, as well as the T. By the way, the next style progress has to be about it, but it will happen far in the future, I guess. The color scheme is okay, even if I would have liked the fill-in to be a bit more yellowish or acid, let's say. The effects are barely visible, and indeed the piece looks a bit empty to me. I didn't even have the possibility to add some tone-on-tone overlapping shadows. Well, this happens when you prepare the colors the night before the painting and you have to take the most from the few cans and time you have. However, thanks to my powerful means, I can kinda show you how the piece would have looked like with the tones I had in my mind. It's nice, isn't it? Yeah, at least for me. Anyway guys, sticking to reality, I wish all of you dear writers a good 2024 in terms of graffiti and also in terms of general life, let's say. I will try to be as constant as I can, and I hope you will appreciate the effort. Maybe leaving a like and a comment underneath this video. By the way, the ones of you that watch old videos might have noticed that I've already done some experiments without the big arrow, but for this new year I just wanted you to know where I'm going in terms of style, and as you know, I just love to share what I think and what I do about my graffiti. This is it for today, and see you the next time. I will try the next week to upload a video.